on the show. I want to see what y'all thought.
And we're back. 2 shows this week. Look at us, man.
Look at
Episode
Bo, man.
31
Look at Bo, y'all.
of the Cookout. We're back. Boys, how we doing? It's only been a couple days, but how we doing?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect to be here. Bo made time for us this week, Eris. I
Hey,
feel
man,
honored.
look. Sometimes even the Hollywood have some off time. You know what I'm saying? They can dole out some time to the little people. We
That's so
appreciate the
crazy.
charity, Poeltl.
That's so crazy, bro, because everybody likes you guys more than me, is what I hear on the
That's
show.
not what I hear.
I
People
don't think I've ever
be,
gotten a compliment for being on this
yeah.
damn show.
I got called the dumbest person alive after the last show.
That's tough.
My motherfucker who was on the show. That's wild.
Ooh, I don't know. Anyway, we're live on Twitch right now, so if you're watching us on Twitch, smash that follow button. Or if you have Amazon Prime, use Jeff Bezos' money to sub to the channel on YouTube. Sub to our YouTube and drop a like on the video. But anyway, going over Madden ratings today. The full Madden ratings have been released, so we got to debate Dak Prescott for some reason, and then
Lord.
we're gonna do daily Poeltl and Weddle. We're gonna play Am I the Asshole, and then Adam created the Go Athlete bracket. So really excited about that. So, but for starters, let's recap. First, let's talk about Adam's Snapchat story because he brought that up right before we went live. Adam, do you want to explain your Snapchat story?
Yeah, so hear me out. I was watching I'm sure y'all know Tim, Coatsy, and Nick Merckx, Swag. They were talking about sports. And somehow the talk brought up that golf is not a sport. And I agree. Golf is not a sport. There's a lot of
Right
things
there.
that people consider sports that aren't sports, in my opinion. I want to know how y'all feel about that. What do you draw the line at it being a sport?
Okay, I have a question, and then I'll give you my answer.
Okay.
Do you think that NASCAR is a sport?
I
No.
think NASCAR is more of a sport than golf, but I think that they're both not
God,
sports.
no.
It definitely is.
No.
Okay.
I feel
Do you want to
Go ahead.
give your answer first, Eris, or do you?
I mean, I can't. I don't think either one of those is a sport. I think golf is more of a sport than the car.
Okay.
It's just that's just personally. I mean, I get it. You're going at high speeds and stuff. It's dangerous, whatever. But you're operating a machine. You know, I just for me it's just yeah. You know, there's a like people simplified the definition of sport to where it like encompasses a lot of stuff. I agree, Eric. Where it encompasses a lot of stuff that I don't think are sports. So NASCAR is one of those things that falls under that, and then golf, and then some other things that are extremely controversial topics that I won't get into.
Cheerleading.
Cheerleading.
Okay. What about gymnastics?
Yes.
I'm trying to get a gauge of
100%.
where you draw the line of like what is sport.
I draw the line right after I don't want to say like gymnastics is less of a sport than football. Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
See,
the
it is a
line
sport or
It's
it's
not a
not
sport.
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's no
yeah,
in
it's
between.
either one side or the other. And I think where it starts, where the line kind of starts is like golf. Like that's like the beginning of the damn line. And then, NASCAR falls in there, and then horseback riding and that stuff. No.
Equestrian.
A question.
Yeah. All that stuff.
Here's
Okay.
here's how I kind of classify. Like if somebody told me that's what they do for a living,
Yes.
would I consider them an athlete? Like if somebody told me that he golfs, like
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider him an athlete. You can be athletic and golf, right?
Yes.
But I don't consider you like I don't even think, oh damn, that motherfucker's fast, he's strong, he's agile, he's this or that. You don't think I don't think that. If you can do it in khakis and a polo, I'm sorry, it's not a sport.
Okay. Okay. I do think NASCAR and golf are both sports. I think NASCAR is borderline for me because you're driving a car. Like I can drive a car, but I
Yeah, but
understand that like
NASCAR
I
requires turning the motherfucking wheel. That shit is not easy.
okay, but hitting a golf ball is so hard.
I mean,
Like where you want to hit
physically
a golf
wise,
ball is so
it
hard.
is. It's definitely a skill.
Do you think
It takes a
video
lot of
games are a
skill.
sport then?
Fuck no,
Okay, so you don't buy into like esports.
no.
Okay, gotcha. Okay,
Somebody says they play games, you don't consider them an athlete,
sure. Okay,
right?
so my thing with golf is that I think golf is actually one of the hardest sports to play.
Skill wise, it's golf takes a lot of skill. I'm not
Yes,
disagreeing
it's
with that.
not
It
even
takes
it's
a
not even
lot of
just
skill.
with it's not even just with like body. It's like the mental aspect
Yes,
of golf is
the
so
mind
hard.
body
Like
connection is it's
sure.
insane.
And that takes skill and not everybody can do it. So
That
like
that's what I agree. I agree.
but you do have to work the better golfers, they do work out. Like you look at like Tiger Woods, Brooks Koepka, like Bryson
Like I
DeChambeau,
said,
like
you can be an athlete and play golf, but playing
yeah,
golf doesn't make you an athlete. It's people that are like 70 that can go out there and that will smoke half the population in golf. They're 70 years old.
sure.
They're not athletic. How does Tiger Woods out there golfing with a broken back?
Okay, so but I think that there's very unathletic people that play baseball. So like,
That's not true.
yes, there are.
It,
Like I could name several DHs and first basemen that are horrendous athletes, but they play baseball.
Bartolo Colon was an awful athlete.
they're strong as hell, though.
Bartolo Colon not strong. I've
Okay,
played with plenty
if you
pitchers who are
got
not strong, or like plenty with like first basemen or DHs that are not strong. They're just good
we're
hitters.
talking
So
about the
it's like
broad population of the
sure,
sport. You can't say baseball doesn't require athletic ability. They were athletes at one point to
sure.
get there.
I think for me, sports is not just like physical. If you were to be like, yes, is golf a physical sport? I say no, it's not. But I do think that golf is a sport just as much as baseball, for example.
Just as much as baseball.
Yes,
How?
because
In
okay,
what
a couple
world?
things. A couple things. One, walking and like golfing 18 holes. I don't know how much golf that you play. I don't play that much golf personally, but I know that golfing, like walking 18 holes, is hot. You're outside all day, like that wears
Bro,
on
they have
you.
a golf cart.
They don't ride golf carts in tournaments.
Either way, come on. You tell me walking is. Come on,
No,
bro.
but you're walking a lot in a day, and you have to do that 4 times in a row. There's a lot of torque on your body for each swing. Like golf swings are very, very violent on your body. So like I think that because of all that, like it is a sport. Like everyone can do it. Like everyone can go play pickup basketball, but that doesn't mean that
No,
they're
we're talking about the highest level. Definitely, you gotta
exactly.
talk
But
about it
I'm
at the
saying
highest
that
level.
like people at the highest level of golf, like they're like it's a sport to me. We can disagree, but like I think it's a sport. I'll put out an Instagram poll because
How old
I've
is
been
Phil Mickelson?
huh?
How old is Phil Mickelson?
Oh,
50
90.
something. He's like 50. He's walking at 18. Fine.
Sure.
Like
I
I
think you
mean,
can
I
do
don't know.
that sport much longer than other
because
sports.
it's not a real
'Cause it's
sport.
not as strenuous, but like from like a mental aspect, like yeah, I think it's very much a sport personally. But he's 52.
That's what I was saying. That like the
He's
definition
52.
of sport is so like the way people define sport is so broad that like a lot of stuff falls under sport, like
Okay,
gambling. That they consider gambling like sports. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. And gambling is not a sport.
sure, I agree with that. So the definition of sport is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another and others for entertainment.
See, that's just way too broad.
That's what I'm saying. Is how
and a lot of
broad
things
the
are sports.
definition of sport is,
I
and
think
by
it's
that
just how you
definition, golf is a
define
sport.
sports. So for like you two, you define sports differently than me. I don't think that esports are necessarily like physical sports, but I think it's like its own category of like sport.
That's what I was
Okay.
saying. This is how broad the definition of sport is.
What about dodgeball?
Yes, I play dodgeball, and I very
You
much
think that's a sport
yes.
more than golf?
I wouldn't say more is like it's either like it's a sport or it's not.
Okay.
Like dodgeball is more exhausting to me than playing baseball.
I agree.
So that would you say then dodgeball is more of a sport than baseball?
Oh, I agree. It's either a sport or it's not. I think golf is just not.
I think dodgeball is a sport.
I think dodgeball it has more of an argument of being a sport than golf does.
Are you saying that because it's like generally a children's game? Like we grew up.
No.
Okay.
Dodgeball takes a lot
dodgeball.
of it takes a lot of physical. Like you have to be agile. You know, you have to have somewhat good hand-eye coordination. You have to have speed, endurance. It takes all that. Golf
Doesn't.
You know, it takes like one. You have good mind muscle connection.
But I think like
that's the only physicality in golf.
The different types of hits, like how they hit the ball, drive the ball, slice, draw, like they top it, spin it, like that
takes a lot of skill, but we're talking about the physical aspect.
It's very, very skillful.
So you would call it just a skill activity.
Yes. Like playing video games takes a lot of skill.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, but it's not a sport.
Okay.
It loses me at the physical aspect of it. You can't tell me it's like on par with these other sports.
I'm going to put on Twitter right now, is golf a sport? I'm going to put a poll out. Is golf a sport? I'm interested in what people say because I do think that this is an interesting discussion.
Like I said, if you can do it in khakis and a polo, I don't want to hear it.
Very important poll. Is golf
very important poll?
A sport?
Hey, lead it off. Very important poll here. Please answer.
Please answer. I better get alarm. Okay. Emoji. Alarm emojis. Yes. No. Poll length 1 day.
See you tomorrow.
Not, I'm going to say if not, why?
Ronnie 2K. Show at your door.
Okay.
I wouldn't risk it.
It's out. Retweet it to your peeps. Okay. All right. So next thing, what else was I gonna talk? Lead in before our actual. Oh, the TBT. Did you guys watch? I know Eris and I watched. Adam, did you watch the Lone Star Legends game?
I was watching. That's why we weren't winning in Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot we were together playing Call of Duty. Did you see the ending though?
I did. Very disappointing. Poor communication. Got to talk.
Okay, so rotations got messed up. They left Jacob Poeltl from I don't know. That was still a deep shot. Like
he shot that motherfucker.
That's Hall of Fame limitless right there.
He shot that from his house,
from Weddle, and he greened it. And like right before that timeout, I was like, they showed Jacob Poeltl's stats about, I don't know, 3 minutes prior, and it was like he was 3 of 10 from 3, and they were saying how cold he's been this second half. I was like, he's about to J them for game.
Game them, huh?
Yeah.
But like, okay, so the Elam ending, right? So Lone Star Legends, they hit 2 free throws to go up 1 point, and then or 73-72, and they only needed 2 to win. So if you're the coach of the purple and black, do you go for a 3 there? Are you looking for it, or do you?
I think you look for it, and if it's there, you take it. You don't force it, but you definitely look for it. Like I'm definitely running a set. I'm definitely running a set to try and get a 3.
Yeah.
Until the guys don't force it. If it's not there, take the 2 because they're probably gonna give you the 2.
He was the only
So
real
take it.
threat from three is Jacob Pullen.
That's what I was telling people was that, and I was talking to a couple of my homies after the game. It was like, bro, if 42 shoots the damn three, you just fucking let him. Like, go ahead.
Even Henry Walker, he
Let him. Let
sure
him.
he was
Like,
he AB'd 2 threes, I think, in the second half.
let him. Like,
That's you play over the screen, you blitz the screen.
the
If he makes a
guard. The
good
guard
pass to
that's
Henry Walker, you lose because of that. Fine.
the guard that's responsible for Jacob Pullen. Bruh. That's your matchup, fam. Why are you telling your big to switch that? Like, we're not and then you're telling them late. Like, no, like
He didn't even really screen him either as a thing. It was
yeah,
like a
this little
flick.
brush. Just a
Yeah.
little brush.
Yeah. I don't know if fatigue played a factor. Maybe he was like tired. He didn't think that he was gonna get through it. I don't know. But that was bad.
Just leaving the one player on the court that's gonna hit that motherfucker.
Also, I mean, I don't want to blame him because we don't know what they could have said switch everything. So he might have been doing his job.
It didn't look like it.
I don't know. Yes, Jeff.
Like, in my opinion, it should be like common sense that you play over everything, you force it to
I agree.
like
Yeah.
Tough way.
It's not
Tough
even
way
like
to go
ice.
out.
It's not even icing on the screen. Like you blitz Jacob Pullen if they try and pick and roll, and they set the pick so high too, like so high above.
Yeah, he shot that. He shot it
He
from.
shot that from Wella. So that's just bad. That's a bad breakdown. I'm interested on what if they talked about it after the game or if Jeff got any insight. But Jeff 0-2. That's super.
Jeff might owe me a refund.
He got 0-2, huh? He made it through the what's the name last year? Did he not? The region?
The Overlooked?
Yeah.
Overlooked got first rounded.
I remember they got first rounded, but like they made it through the region to the tournament, right? No,
They did not.
I think they. Oh, did they? Yeah, they. I don't know.
They did not.
What did they lose
The
that
tournament
game?
is on Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Oh.
Some tournaments are on Thanksgiving.
that might be right. I thought they finished that. Well, maybe that might be right.
The Overlooked literally played one game that we
Yes.
could watch, and they lost.
I guess that's true.
So.
Oh, they were the Murray team, so they did play. You're right. They played in the regional last year over.
Yeah, they got smoked. I remember I was at a bar in Fenway because I was going to a Red Sox game that day, and I was doing the Twitter for the Overlooked, and there wasn't a lot for me to tweet in the second half.
It wasn't a lot of highlights until Nate West started getting into a cook.
Nate West pull-up jumper, the Overlooked down 15. 4 minutes. But anyway, do you guys like the TBT? I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great. More basketball.
Especially like the more alumni teams that are joining. Like this is the most alumni teams that they've had. I think there's like 28 of them or whatever, but I like to see more alumni teams, but
I like it. I like
do
it.
you think if Kansas State, the purple and black team, they get Michael Beasley, are they the favorites now? Or do you still think it's like Boeheim's Army?
I haven't looked at the team, but
I need to
it'll
look
be
at
tough
the-
to beat.
Boeheim's Army is stacked. Like basically
The Aftershocks are playing right now, so and only one team gets through the region, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, so
If they get Michael Beasley, I think they're washed in that Aftershock. Sorry. I think
Is
nobody
Ron
in the
Baker on that
Aftershocks is guarding Michael
do
Beasley.
we have to watch more Ron Baker basketball at some point?
Ron Baker is not on the team.
Okay.
It's
Okay, good.
Connor Frankamp,
Oh god.
Kansas, Wichita State legend. He was also in college forever.
You know, Kansas likes to have players stay for a while.
I also thought that I remember Jacob Pullen being bald, and then he had like
Hair. Oh, he had the
hair
braids
and the
today.
like the short braids.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, like the whatever. So it's like, did he get some hair plugs? No shame if you did. I'm just saying, like, did you get hair? Okay. Anyway, let's move on to Madden ratings. The Madden 23. All the player ratings were released as of today. So I haven't looked at them fully.
Yeah, quarterbacks dropped today.
quarterbacks dropped today. So at the top, we got Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, and Matt Stafford as your
That
top.
that list is insane.
Okay. Initial thoughts. We'll start with Adam.
In what world is Dak Prescott better than Russell Wilson?
I don't know.
In what world? I don't know. They dropped the ball. Joe Burrow at 90. I mean, come on.
That was what I didn't agree with.
You agree with
Joe
Dak
Burrow.
Prescott being a top 5 quarterback?
No, but also, I mean, it's just how it gets with Madden. Like I mean, you have you have to take into account age, and also like you got to take
What?
into account you got to take in, like Joe Burrow. I think I disagree with it because it's been a year. He's been in the league 2 years. It was okay first year, and then second year, like I said about Jamar Chase, they didn't have any expectation. And now it's like, what do you do? So I don't think Joe Burrow should be a 90. Now, with that being said, I think Dak has been good, really good. Russell Wilson missed almost the entire year, which is why for him to be above Russell Wilson is fine, but I don't think you can make the Madden ratings based off of. I don't think you make Madden ratings based off of like who are your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now, whether they play or not.
Here's the
Right.
thing I hate about what you just said is that Christian McCaffrey is still like this 3rd-rated running back, and he's only played 8 games last 2 years.
And
DeAndre Hopkins is 3rd-rated wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be perfect, but I think
But it works for Dak.
in the case of Dak Prescott, to say that he hasn't earned an 89, I think is crazy. I think.
What has he done to earn an 89?
What do you mean? What you mean? He has stats comparable to each of the top 3 quarterbacks. The dude can play. Like we act like Dak is just ass. Like the dude can play, and the numbers are there. The numbers are there.
The numbers liars.
To say he can't play, or to say that he doesn't
the numbers.
I think it's crazy.
The numbers don't tell the whole story.
I don't think they tell the whole story, but in the case of Dak Prescott, to say that he hasn't earned the 89, I think is crazy. Just because I'm not saying they tell the whole story, but his numbers are very good. And when you watch him play, he has games where he's not very good, but so does Aaron Rodgers, so does Patrick Mahomes, so does Tom Brady. They have games where they're not very good.
He has a lot
like
more.
That.
Come on.
Not like that.
I don't think he has a lot more. He has more. Do I think he has more? Yeah, but that's also why he's not rated with them.
What about
do I think he has a lot more? No, I don't.
What about Matthew Stafford? He's better than Matthew Stafford?
I don't think he's better than Matthew Stafford. I don't personally think he's better than Matthew Stafford. But
so
I didn't make the rating. I don't think he didn't earn an 89, but that doesn't mean I don't think Matthew Stafford didn't earn a 90.
Okay, but I want you to rate the top 10 then. Give me your ratings for each of them.
I mean Brady, Rodgers, and Mahomes, fine, whatever. I don't really. I mean, I think maybe Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. So 97, 96, 96. Josh Allen 94, and then after that, I got Matthew Stafford at 85. I think that's criminally low.
This is bad.
Russell Wilson. I mean, also pretty low, but again, he didn't play football last year. I don't think Russell Wilson and Lamar Jackson are that good. I mean, not that good. Sorry, I don't think they're. I'll take that back. I don't think they're the same rating. I don't think they're the same overall. Like Lamar Jackson's good, but like he's not as good as Russell Wilson. I don't even like Russell Wilson, as y'all know, corny. So
Mr.
I'll go,
Unlimited.
I'd go. I mean, Rodgers, Mahomes, Brady, and then Josh Allen, probably Justin Herbert. I mean, yeah, it's probably Justin Herbert, Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson. That's 6. And then after that, it's like then you start getting into the. I mean, wherever you want to put like the Lamar Jacksons, Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray's, those guys. After that,
My issue with this is that Russell Wilson, like, yeah, he didn't play a ton, but when he did play, he was pretty normal. Like stat wise, his team was much worse than what he normally plays with. So there's probably more interceptions and stuff comparatively to what he's used to. But I think it's egregious having Russell Wilson under a 90. I think that's insane to me. I think if he was like at 90, like if you polled NFL executives of who would you rather have, like Russell Wilson, maybe we need to do like a who would you rather, like Dak Prescott or Russell Wilson. I think we should do some of those leading up to football season on the show. But I think if you polled NFL execs of Russell Wilson or like Dak, Justin Herbert, Lamar, Matt Stafford, Joe Burrow. Like Joe Burrow just played in a Super Bowl. I understand that. But you take recency bias aside, I don't know that Russell Wilson is not being chosen over all of these guys. Not named Josh Allen or the above.
I mean, yeah, I also think that a lot of people would take like those guys over. I mean, would take Russell Wilson over like all those guys. But I think I don't know. Everybody thinks that it's just like a landslide, like with in comparison to Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. I don't know. It's just I don't. But that's just personal, I guess. It's just personally me. I don't think it's a landslide of Russell Wilson over Dak Prescott.
I think Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott are not close.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
and that's
which
fine.
is fine. Which is
then,
fine. I think.
I think. Yeah, they have Derek Carr as an 83. Derek Carr had better numbers than Dak last year, didn't he?
Similar.
They weren't like one lopsided. I think they're pretty similar.
Similar.
They throw the ball more in Oakland than Dallas.
That's
Which
true.
I mean, duh.
But it's like
we have Zeke.
You go from 89 to an 83.
We have Zeke.
Yeah, I don't blame Dak for that, to be fair. But I think Derek Carr and Ryan Tannehill being the same is egregious. I also think Kyler Murray being near these guys is also egregious.
Probably it's not great.
Yeah,
kudos to Kyler Murray too, getting a bag, $250 million.
Good money good over there.
I think if I'm Kyler Murray's agent, I was probably seeking out your big deal now due to like health concerns and like him getting beat up a little bit. It's like if you can get your money
Arizona
now,
don't block.
Yeah, like if you can get your money now, I would go get it now. And maybe if he didn't get this deal, he has a really an even better season than he did last year, and he could have made more. But I think the difference would have been, I don't know, 25 million, maybe 30 extra million. And if you're making 250 million,
probably
it is still significant, but it's like I think I'm cool with $250 million.
I'm good on that. Yeah. Yeah, we're good there. I mean, honestly, you gotta think. Ideally, we haven't seen him play football in a while, but Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, probably in the same class. So you start to, you use Deshaun Watson's contract to, kind of gauge what you're gonna give Kyler Murray. They got pretty much the same deal, I'm pretty sure.
Quick Deshaun Watson news. So no ruling has come out, but I saw that he's reporting to camp.
Go ahead.
He's playing it as normal until a ruling comes out? Like, do you think that is a sign either way that he knows something that we don't, or do you think that he's just trying to be business as usual until a ruling comes out?
I mean, he's under contract. He might have to show up, doesn't he? Or was it? Um,
I
he might
mean,
have
I'm
to.
sure. I'm sure the Browns can be like. I'm sure the Browns can be like, hey man, like, I think it's best you stay away from the facility until, something comes out. But also with that, it's like, we're not gonna pay you this damn money for you to sit your ass at home. Come on, business as usual. I think they know. I saw that they're working out quarterbacks. Obviously, you kind of have to, because I think you only have like one or two on the roster going into the preseason. You have to work them out, regardless of if Deshaun Watson plays or not. But I think everyone kind of has the idea, and everyone knows Deshaun Watson probably isn't playing in the first at least 8 games of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's even more reason for him to show up, because you got to build some. Because once he gets suspended, he can't show up at all. He can't use that foot. You got to build some form of chemistry or something.
Sure.
You don't want to just walk in at week 10. You're fighting for a playoff spot, and he doesn't know,
Anything.
He barely knows people's names.
Also, I just peeped throwing power. Deshaun Watson in 93 and Kyler Murray in 90. I think that's off. Kyler Murray has a hose, dude.
Wait, what?
Fucking hose, bro.
What's your mouth?
What do you mean by that?
Like a hose, like a baseball.
Thought you meant like a.
No, bro. No.
Hey, even sure.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Jameis is 76. What are we doing?
Yeah, why is he so damn high?
What?
Why they got him rated so high?
Don't do that. 76?
Why they got him rated so high?
I saw the Browns also signed Josh Rosen. How does this dude keep getting so many chances, bro?
I don't know.
He looked horrible on the Falcons.
Great team guy. Coach.
Is he?
Real coach guy. Coaches love him,
He's a dick. He's the worst. He's like the most privileged kid ever. This is
Zach
also
Wilson,
bad.
legend.
Justin Fields 74. That's bad.
Yeah, I feel like Zach Wilson should have got at least an 80 just for just for the band.
Legend.
Last season.
Legend.
Just for being the GOAT.
Hey, he got that dog in him. Is that a stat? Is that a stat in here? Dog.
Is that a stat here? Dog
in him. Looking at these other stats, Tua 75. Davis Mills, yikes. That's QB1 right there.
That's QB1 for somebody's franchise right there.
Marcus Mariota 71. That's QB1 right there.
But there's also
rookie Desmond Ritter. So assuming Deshaun Watson is suspended indefinitely, Jacoby Brissett is probably your opening day starter, no? Because they have him, Josh Rosen, and then Joshua Dobbs.
Oh,
Tennessee.
No.
Can you imagine the conversation in that quarterback room without Deshaun Watson in it?
I don't know.
Lord.
All eating the chips.
What a mercy.
Let's see. 10 God, 69.
You see Bears legend Andy Dalton up there, 70.
I did not see. I forgot he got picked by the Saints. Maybe I didn't see that.
He's gonna be so clean at the Saints too.
Sam Darnold. Did I tell you guys that I randomly saw Sam Darnold in Boston?
Did he look like he
just looked like any dude? Just look like any other dude. But like I know what Sam Darnold looks like. So me and my friends, we were having some beers in the park along the river, and I'm riding over there, and then I'm like, I look at a guy, and we look back at each other, and I did kind of a double take. And Sam Darnold kind of is like a goofy looking. It's not like it's not. I'm not saying like he's an ugly dude or whatever. He just like he has like a, I don't know. You know what Sam Darnold looks like.
Yeah.
And dude was just wearing like a black Budweiser t-shirt and like just like a normal trucker hat or something.
Just
And I
looking
was
like a
like, that looks
dude.
like Sam Darnold. So then I went to his Instagram and he had posted, I think his sister lives here. So I think it was his sister's birthday. So that's why she was here. But anyway, super random that saw Sam Darnold. Let's see. Other QBs that know Daniel Jones at 70. Do you think this is a make or break year for Daniel Jones? Like, do you think this is more of an Adam question, resident Giants fan?
Well, I'm a Chargers fan. I don't know nothing about the Giants. I haven't followed them.
Okay. Okay.
What you want from me?
Is this new?
Adam changes teams like
Their ass.
every year.
That's wild.
Bolt up.
Bro, you got Daniel Jones, you got Tyrod Taylor. That's a good QB room right there, man.
I don't know who you're talking to. Chris?
Gotcha. Kenny Pickett, 68, throw power 86, because not a good arm. Wears 2 gloves to throw. Do we have hand size on here?
Nope. Small hand.
Rating.
Another QB1 right there, Drew Lock.
That's not good.
QB1.
Sam
Your boy.
Howell.
Your boy.
Christ. Flacco elite.
Yeah.
Chase Keenum. These are some bad athletes.
Kellen Mond. Oh. God.
These are bad athletes. Brian Hoyer still gets NFL checks. Chase Daniel, QB2. Adam, there you go. QB2 Chase Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
That dude has had the best life.
Just life.
He's literally had to do nothing. And I think I saw some like insane stat of how much money he's made per pass, and it makes me just want to throw up because like he's had like $150,000 of completion or something that he's had in the NFL or something. I think I just made that number up, but it was something so ridiculous that like I feel like we could do that.
I don't think Felipe Franks plays that position anymore.
Oh my God. The worst.
I'm pretty sure Felipe Franks plays tight end now.
My favorite Felipe Franks moment at Florida is that he threw a touchdown that should have been picked, and then he comes over to the sidelines and says, "Y'all better stop playing with me. I'm really like that." And
Pick
then
six.
Next possession, pick 6. I was like,
that was like open and weak. It was like on ABC.
Yeah. I was like, you can't draw up life any better than that. And it's like, yeah.
Felipe Franks. Horrible.
Sam Ellinger.
Go.
58. Let's go.
It's a little less criminally low, I think. Should be somewhere around the 80s, but
who is the word? Jack Cohen. Nice.
your boy.
No.
I don't think he makes that roster.
No. Can't throw a football from I would say me to you, but you're in Texas.
Thanks, Bo. Good.
To the arm strength of a 4-year-old. Ben DiNucci. There you go.
It's Gucci, man. That's Gucci.
Shane Buechele. Another Texas go. Come on.
God, he fucking sucked.
What are we doing?
He was
here?
so bad.
SMU legend. Let's go.
He was so bad.
Okay, so we know Colin Cowherd says some off the wall shit sometimes. I do like listening to him, but I do think that he's very off base. He said one time, watch out for Logan Woodside as like a steal of a draft. And he's barely he's in the game, and us three are not, but barely. Barely.
Oh, good.
No shot. Nathan Peterman is on the Bears roster, and I'm not. There's no way Nathan Peterman is on the roster, and I'm not.
Nathan Peterman, every time he gets in the game, he's good for 4 picks.
God.
He's
is there
good for
anything
4
else?
picks.
Oh, they did
Every
running
time.
backs. Derrick Henry. See, like Christian McCaffrey's a 96 though. He's played 8 games in fucking 2 years. Jonathan Taylor, GOAT. Dalvin Cook, GOAT. Come on.
Somebody they were talking on Twitter about how if you think Joe Mixon is that much better than Alvin Kamara, you might be smoking dope.
I mean, I don't think that one is substantially better than the other. No.
93 to 90.
I would almost argue Aaron Jones. I would put Aaron Jones ahead of both of them, and I hate the Packers.
Well, that's
I don't know
because they
about
don't.
that.
I said I would argue. I don't know if that's even like Zeke. Like
No.
I wouldn't put Zeke ahead of them. I'm saying that like I think these 5 running backs right here are pretty relative. And then, then you get into the Dalvins, the Jonathan Taylors, and then the other guys, whatever.
Yeah, that number one guy's pretty stupid.
Derrick Henry, that's fine.
Yeah, he's Christ.
Oh, this was just defenders. Oh, sorry, cornerbacks and D line. Okay. Jalen Ramsey, though, come on.
What a player.
Derwin James, come on, man. That's DVU right there. That's DVU. Can't argue that's not DVU. FSU not DVU.
There you
We're
go.
not
with
gonna
that.
get into this.
At this point.
We're not gonna get into this.
At the end. 99 club, there's only what, 3? No, I guess. Okay, anyway. I don't know. We'll see how the season goes. Anyway, back on Poeltl. Are we still undefeated in Poeltl?
Justice
Yes.
Winslow.
Shout out Justin
we are.
Winslow.
Okay. All right. So undefeated in Poeltl still, never lost. Harris,
10 guy.
who are we starting with?
Who?
10 guy. That's what everyone calls him. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Mitch. Sorry. I forgot my delete button. Does it work?
Mr. Dorian Finney-Smith, 10 guy. Like I said, that's what everybody calls him.
Got you.
Yeah.
Dorian
Literally
Finney-Smith, not bad in the West. Forward in the West. A short forward in the West. Low jersey number.
Draymond?
Draymond is
Low jersey
37.
number.
He's also
Draymond was it?
Draymond wear 23.
He does thing.
Jordan Poole.
He's a
Jordan
guard.
Poole is
no?
definitely a guard forward. I mean, you could try it. Why not?
He probably is a guard forward, honestly. Makes a lot more sense. Guard.
What does this mean? What does this mean?
He played for
I've never
Golden
seen
State.
yellow on the team.
Oh, he's been at Golden State before.
Oh, he's played for Golden State before. That's what that means, right?
So this guy is 6'6".
Within the last
6'6", 24,
at
25.
one point played for this team. Okay.
Who did they
6'6",
trade for
24,
Andrew
25.
Wiggins?
They traded D'Angelo Russell. That's the only one. That's the only person to trade that I think meant anything.
Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes was like number 40.
You're right.
Anthony Edwards? No, he's not.
He never played for Golden State either.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's got to
He has played.
he's got to wear 1 or 0.
No, he wears 0, right? Because it's not within 2. He wears number 0.
Fuck, we're 0.
D'Angelo Russell. But it can't be him.
No way, it's D'Angelo Russell. He's a guard, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's him.
Yeah.
Number 0.
So I mean, it has to be in who? Dang wears 0 for Portland. Who wears 0 for Denver?
Oh, is it Gary Payton Jr.?
He still plays. Maybe not. Maybe not. He didn't play. He plays for.
Is he in the North? Play for Port. Could be him.
It might be Gary Payton Jr.
Send
He's
it.
only 6. Well, he might be 6'6",
Gary Payton?
6'3". I know he's short. It is number 0 in the Northwest. Okay.
So
29?
Who else is in the Northwest?
Utah. Who was 0 for Utah?
Fucking no.
Jordan Clarkson? No, he wasn't on. He was
double 0.
Double 0.
This is not the same thing.
Mm-mm.
Did Jordan Clarkson play for the Warriors? Yeah.
No.
Oh, I know who it is. What's the dude with the thing on his head? What's his name? Is that what I'm thinking about?
What thing?
The thing on his head?
He had like a growth on his head, bro. It's not hard. He played for Golden State. I had him in fantasy basketball.
I
Pascal.
did have no idea.
Pascal.
Oh, Eric.
Oh, Eric Pash.
I don't think he might not be the dude with the thing on his head.
Wait, is he 6'6"? Like 6'9".
He's an undersized forward, that's for sure. The age range fits.
He plays for Utah.
It might be him. Yep.
Oh,
yeah, Adam. Yeah, he's 6'6".
I remember at Villanova, he played the 5 for them for.
Bro, I thought about him, and then I was like, no, he's like 6'9". Like I don't know why I thought he was just a giant dude. Wow.
He used to get a lot of boards. All right,
come up, Adam.
Oh, I forgot about the shot.
Oh, we know we're both drinking.
It's a shame, honestly.
What?
We know we're both drinking.
Embarrassing.
You want me to pour it in a cup?
I want you to finish it.
I will. I'm saying. All right, victory shot.
How's that taste, Bo?
It was a bigger shot than I normally take on these. And I think because in my mind, since I didn't pour it into a cup, I was gonna like gargle it so you could know there was
Nope.
Pause.
Just
You
don't do
only
that.
pause so many times.
What do you mean, bro?
Like,
let me get to some of my Twitter notifications. Eric subbed with a tier 1 sub. They've been subbed for 3 months straight. Appreciate that. And then
Passion.
we got a bit from I'm Duncan. Oh my god, you still stream? I haven't seen you in ages. I remember your Mixer days. Yeah, that was a.
those were dark times on Mixer.
Huh?
Those were dark times on Mixer.
It was dark times. I never made partner on Mixer, so I don't know that I really made that much money from Mixer. I definitely made more money from Twitch. So anyway, yes, good to see you as well. Yeah,
welcome back.
I don't stream games really anymore, but we are gonna do an Among Us stream, and we need to do a Call of Duty stream at some point. So we will be back on some gaming whenever I'm not lazy and I set up stuff. But thanks, Eric, for the tier 1 sub as well. Appreciate that. All right, moving on to Weddle. Easy mode. Have we lost?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who did we lose to in easy mode?
I don't even remember.
I think it was a corner, a DB.
Easy mode only has offensive skill players. I think it was a tight end.
I don't remember.
Probably, huh? Probably.
Anyway, Weddle.
You know where we start at?
Who are we starting with?
We start with Jonathan Taylor because he's only failed us once, and that's why.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
He only failed us once, and that's why.
Okay.
Short running back in the NFC.
I'm pretty sure once was already Christian McCaffrey, but that was the first guess that I had. Oh, 26 or 27. Never mind.
I thought it was Tony Pollard. What's his number?
He was number 20.
Dang.
It's not Tony Pollard. It's okay.
Oh,
course.
sorry. I thought you were saying to send it. Oh, wait. Oh, because he wears number 20.
We lost it because of Bo.
Yeah, mini one. Now in the NFC East.
What's the little short Tariq Cohen?
He changed
His
his
number.
I don't know if he's
His
on
number,
a roster
Bo.
right now. But he wore 29.
He was 29 is what I was going to say. 26 or 27. For some reason, the first 26 that comes to my head is Saquon Barkley. Now, it's not him, but that was the first 26 that came to my head.
Not NFC East.
Not an NFC.
Is Tariq Cohen not on the roster?
I don't know, but he
Is he
wears
not on the
29.
Bears? Oh,
He's
he was
not. He's not on the Bears roster. No.
Is Tariq Cohen the one that popped his Achilles recently?
Live on Instagram. It sucks.
Running backs. Trying to think of some short ones. Under 5'10".
Trying to think of some 27s. Besides J.K. Dobbins.
What number does James Robinson wear?
James Robinson plays in Jacksonville, does he not?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's NFC.
Yeah, sorry.
He also wears number 30, I believe, unless he changed his number. 26 or 27.
We need to get a team.
It has to be 24. So, like, drafted in the last
2
2
years,
3 years.
3 years.
Who's Carolina's running backs? I know they have Foreman from Texas football school.
Carolina, they have what's the dude that just came out of Oklahoma State?
Oh, Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba.
He's taller. He's like 6'2".
Well, he also wears number like 30 or something.
Yeah. So
Saints
at Kamara.
Mark Ingram still.
He's old.
He wears 22, I think. Or 14.
He wears 14.
Yeah, he wears like 14 or something.
He is short though.
Atlanta, couldn't tell you who the hell's in their backfield.
What about Tampa Bay? They Fournette.
Ronald Jones?
Ronald Jones isn't there anymore.
Mm.
I want to say he's in Miami.
He might be. I think that's actually right. He was a 27 though, which is crazy enough.
I think Gio Bernard's there.
Gio Bernard?
Gio Bernard is not 24.
You're right. He's been. Yeah, he's old.
There's no way
Gio
Gio Bernard is.
Packers running backs. Aaron Jones, he wears 33.
What's the big fuck? Oh, but he wears he wears something else. What's the big fuck with the quads? AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon wears 28.
8?
Or 26. No,
it's 28. It's 28. Is this gonna be a Bears?
That's a big motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw him play when FSU came to play Boston College, and he was just running all over it. Like he was just running them over like they were not real people. It was bad.
Trying to think.
Shit, did we lose?
He still got time.
Who's the Rams backup?
Oh, Cam Akers.
Henderson.
Huh?
Darrell Henderson.
Darnell Henderson.
That dude right there. That's him. Yep.
Well done.
Job, Harris.
Yup.
It's on a heater right now.
Come on.
He's a football guy, you know.
Come on.
Big running backs guy.
Big
Hey,
that guy.
you know, hey, sometimes, you know, sometimes, you
All
know.
right, victory shot.
Oh, wait.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
Even like the smaller shots.
God.
Okay. Good lord. All right, Weddle hard mode. These always get a little dicey.
I'm not gonna lie, I did
Never
not
get
want to
dicey
take
with
a
the Jonathan
victory
Taylor at the
shot.
beginning.
I mean, they only get dicey if you're trying to guess Alex Highsmith or Mitch Morse. Other than that, they're generally pretty good. Eris, who are we starting with?
We're gonna start with that boy Jonathan Taylor. You know how you know the vibes. You know the vibes.
Jonathan Taylor, defensive player
Sweet.
in the AFC.
Try to think of try to get a bat. Oh, his number's 29 or 30. Okay, perfect.
So DB.
Eli Apple.
Ugh.
Mm.
Giants legend. Giants legend Eli Apple.
Are you done?
Yeah, my fault.
Right.
Super Bowl runner-up Eli Apple.
Can't argue with facts. Marlon Humphrey. He's like 27, 44.
He wears number 40.
Damn.
Legend
number
athlete
44.
Marlon Humphrey. Shout out
He wears number 44.
The hell?
Try Jesse Bates.
Bates could work. Safety in the 30. What's Minka's?
Minka wears number
30.
Oh, he's never mind. He's in the same
39.
division. He's in the AFC North.
Yeah, he wears 39 too. Something hideous.
All
6'1"
right, so we're
safety.
29. He's a safety.
Our name is
24 years
safeties.
Bradley Roby.
Micah Hyde.
I feel like Micah Hyde's older than 24.
Bradley Roby probably is too.
What's the other guy? Poyer?
Jordan
wears 21.
Poyer. He's old as hell.
He wears 21.
Okay. Sorry. So not the Bills safeties.
Oh, Bradley Roby plays for like the Texans. He doesn't play for the. I thought he played for the Broncos still.
Who are the Dolphin safeties?
Oh, Brandon Jones.
Hmm?
Brandon Jones, Texas legend. Bang.
Brandon Jones. Ayers.
There's on
Outta
fire,
here.
bro.
Hurry up, Brandon Jones.
Horns down, bro. Whatever.
Oh no.
You know what I would love? I would love an FSU Texas matchup. We would have to go.
Do you want to do that?
Huh?
Do you want to do that?
I would.
Respectfully,
Not
we
next year.
We're not Jacksonville State.
That
So
I think we should go. I think regardless we should do a show on the road. For Amazon Prime Day, I bought wireless mics. Got a really good deal on them. So they came in a 2-pack. So like we could go to a game and do it like interviews.
Mhm.
I think that would be fun.
How
I'm about that.
I would go to a Texas game this year.
I mean,
That's
Texas
plays
Bama
Bama.
right there.
Huh?
Texas plays Bama in Austin this year.
Yes, that's got to be the one. And I have friends that live in Austin now, like other friends that live in Austin. So
I know
like,
for a fact me and Ayers will be there.
I'm down. Okay, victory shot.
Gonna whoop that ass too this year too. Oh, we on that ass.
I don't hate Texas. I just hate Texas because of you guys.
Damn.
So I'd very much root for Texas. So, anyway.
38-31 Texas.
All right. So before we get to the GOAT playlist, we're going to play Am I the Asshole, where we take a Reddit post from the subreddit thread, Am I the Asshole? We read it, do some. I'm gonna paraphrase it because it's kind of long, but we're gonna decide who is the asshole in the situation. So this one is titled "Am I the asshole for refusing to drive my friends and leaving them stranded?" So I went on a trip with my friends to celebrate a birthday a couple months ago. I offered my car for us to drive, no problem. While there, my car is victim of a hit and run, and it's serious. And none of their friends apparently said anything but that sucks. Sorry.
What do you
So
want him
I'm
to
on
say?
this person's side already.
What do you want him to say? What
I pay out of pocket to fix it, which throws off my budget big time. So do not have insurance, it's deductible. One of my friends says, well, nobody contributed to my excess when I had an accident, neglecting to mention that the accident didn't happen on a trip they wouldn't have been on otherwise been on if they weren't doing something for the friendship group, like in my case. So the other person's accident didn't have anything to do with like a trip or offering their car or anything. So
As of right
she
now, I'm
says,
not on her side.
huh?
I'm not on her side as of right now.
Okay, whatever. I say nothing and fix it in my car. My problem, message received. Fast forward to today. They asked me to drive again to a festival that we're all attending together. They say no thanks, and they ask why, and then they say I don't really want to. They point out my car is the most suitable to carry everyone, which is true, but the answer is still no. And they push back. She said they don't want to. I don't know why I keep saying a she. It could be a he. Apologies.
Sexist.
I push back and say I don't want to because the incident left a sour taste in my mouth, and I'm in no rush to be offering lifts to unsympathetic people who left me with a huge bill on my own while chasing me for the paltry sums I owe them. I think $10 compared to $100 it costs to fix my car. I was called petty for refusing to help my friends and entitled for expecting them to fix my car when it's part of the responsibility of owning one. I say they're right. It's also part of the privilege of owning one to decide who gets to ride it, and I won't be offering lifts. My car, my problem also means my car, my rules. Everyone is mad at me now since we always use my car, and now they have to consider other taxis or expensive alternatives. Am I the asshole? What do you guys think? And then I'll read the edit afterwards.
Off rip, she's not the asshole for not wanting to drive. I mean, you don't want to drive. That's fine. I don't want to drive lots of places either, especially when I'm going out, because
Bottom of the bottle.
But like, you shouldn't. First off, you should have insurance if it's a hit and run. Like, why would I have to cover the expenses for that? Now, if you need help and you ain't got the money, then okay. But like, you shouldn't. I wouldn't expect people to cover the expenses of my car when they didn't do anything to it.
But do you think that if you were the one, say us three went on a trip, right? We went on a road trip, we used your car, say we chipped in for gas or whatever, but say that your car got side swiped or whatever. Do you think we would be dicks if we did not offer to help you like cover your deductible or something, like chip in?
No, because I mean, what did you do? Were you distracting me? Like, you didn't do anything. Like,
Okay, but say that all of us, like the three of us, had cars that were capable to drive, but we just took yours.
That's just, hey, you guys got to take the L. Shit happens. And then the thing is, like, that sucks. So I don't know. I wouldn't expect anybody to pay for it if something happens. It's just like, sorry. Like,
but do you think we would be dicks if we didn't even like acknowledge or like offer? It sounds like they didn't. She did. I keep saying she. It sounds like they did not even really care. They were just like,
I guess if they just didn't care, they're like, oh damn, that's trash. Anyways, where we going tonight?
Nobody says anything other than that sucks. Sorry. I feel like I'd be annoyed personally.
Yes,
I wouldn't
if it's just like that
to pay for anything. But like me, if it was your car and you say you got side swiped or the car got broken into or whatever, me personally, I would offer to chip in. You would probably say no. Like I would say no if you offered to help pay for my car. I would say no. But like I'd be like, damn, like I don't give a shit about my
I,
car.
I guess I see where you're coming from. Like they should have been anything other than that sucks. Sorry, and then oh well, what are we doing tonight? But I don't think she should. It sounded like she was expecting people to help her, or
Yeah.
him, which I don't agree with.
I don't think I would. I wouldn't expect anybody to pay like help.
Yeah, I mean, like, what do you?
I think the people I roll with, I know that they would
Yeah,
be empathetic and like try and offer, but I would say no. I'd be
if
like,
she was just looking for empathy, then I don't think she's an asshole for that. But if she was looking for help to pay for it, then I think for the first part. The second part, if you don't want to drive, I mean, it's my car.
I don't think she's an asshole for not wanting to drive.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Especially after that. Like if that left a sour taste in like your mouth or whatever, then like you had a bad experience. Like if I had a bad experience on a road trip, like driving my friends, I would be less inclined to drive the next time. I'd be like, someone else can do this on.
I mean, you know, I'm paying out of pocket for something. I'm paying out of pocket to fix my car. I don't know. I'm not, sure how insurance works, but in a hit and run, how does that work? Like, it's just kind of they just take your word for it, or what?
So you would have to file like a police report, and then you would have to submit a claim and attach a police report, like type of thing. If they find the person that did it, then they would send them the bill, like a notice or whatever for it. But otherwise,
And then if not, what?
You would have to plan to pay out of pocket on your end.
So chances are she was going to pay out of pocket, or they were going to pay out of pocket. Okay. Hit and run, you're probably not going to find that person on a friend's trip. I'm assuming that they got away. So, to expect them to pay, it's kind of crazy, I think. But if I'm a victim of a hit and run, I'm going to be less inclined to drive anywhere else. Anyway.
Just period.
Yeah. And it had nothing to do with, whatever. It sounds like her friends or their friends are used to whatever. Used to offering up her car or their car and going everywhere in their car. I don't give a damn. My car got hit and I paid out of pocket for it. And I know I read this story before. If it happens again, I'm paying out of pocket again. And we ain't doing that. It ain't gonna fly like that. So
do you think this
not the
person
asshole for leaving not the asshole for leaving them stranded, but for being I don't know, just
wait, did she go without them? Like she just drove by herself and left them?
I don't know.
We'll say stranded, like leaving stranded makes it seem like
it makes it sound like
she said, I'm gonna drive myself and y'all can't roll with me.
Which would be funny, by the way.
If that's the case, then I think you're a dick.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think
you're an asshole
for not wanting to drive your car after that.
Yeah, because you're going anyway, right? You're driving anyway.
The title makes it seem like she left them stranded.
Okay, so let's go to the feedback. I'll be logging out soon, so I want to say thanks. I'm fundamentally opposed to this hyper individualistic, nobody owes me anything attitude society is developing. I hate this person. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think I
told you. Not on her
not
side or his side.
I think it's the death. It'll be the death of us. I think we owe each other common decency, sympathy, kindness, and support, even when nothing obliges us to do so. This is why I think it would have been kind to offer to help my car, even if it is my car. But I also understand that not everyone feels that way. So
I feel like nobody feels that way.
Yeah, I think if say that us three were riding somewhere and I was driving my car and my car got hit. If you guys gave me the response that they're saying that they got, or like, oh, that sucks, sorry, and not like even you, I wouldn't expect you to offer me to like help pay for my car or whatever. But like, that's a shitty situation. Like if it was me, I would be like, let me get you a drink or
let me buy you drinks tonight.
Yeah,
I got you.
Right?
You had to spend all this money.
Like the people I roll with, like I know you guys would do that. Like at the very least, or you guys would probably offer like, "Hey man, like let me like chip."
Hey bro, can I like
either
anything I can?
no.
Yeah, like is there anything I can do? Do you need it? Like if you
Yeah.
need it, I got you.
Yeah, type of thing. So I think this person in the end, you need like if you're gonna go on a trip and like risk your car, you should know who you're rolling with, like the type of people like if this then what scenarios. You know what I'm saying? She's like they're like my takeaway is from this is I as a car owner am expected to shoulder 100% of the risk. It is wise that I become more risk averse than I historically
Ugh.
have been. I don't like that outlook.
She thought her car was weighed down too much, and she
Huh?
got hit. Like, what do you mean risk averse? What's the risk?
As in like if I'm gonna be 100% expected to like pay for everything if my car gets totaled or whatever, then you probably think about that before you make it. I don't know.
Car can get hit driving to the grocery store.
Exactly.
I don't understand.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like you can't be like that. I think that's a little extreme. I don't think this person's an asshole in the end.
I think they are an asshole based on that second comment.
I think they're an asshole as a person, but I don't think that they're an ass in this situation for not.
Yeah, I don't think I like this person. Wouldn't be in my circle.
No, this person would not be in my circle.
No shot.
I'm trying to see if there's any good comments of them saying you're kind of a dick.
You should have insurance.
You should have insurance. Friends are not insurance policies. That's true. This person also struggles to spell friends, and that is
Freons.
I know they're probably doing this on their phone, and there's got to be autocorrect. So it's like you're bypassing autocorrect. To
Freons.
If y'all had been an Uber, but they weren't, that was OP offering them a ride for free.
Cool for you. You want a cookie?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Asshole.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to the GOAT athlete of all GOATs bracket made by Adam. Very excited for this one. Make this a little bit bigger.
I want to say that the seating was random. I just shuffled it.
Okay, I didn't know if you took time to do this. I can shuffle it.
I did not.
Like the seatings. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know. But anyway, all right. So we like how this is?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna start with Tony Hawk versus Serena Williams.
So I assume we're going by who dominated the sport that they're in.
Yes. Okay. How about you lay out what we're looking for or what we're evaluating?
I think we should evaluate how they dominated their sport, because obviously you can't compare cross sports, clearly. So how dominant were they in their sport compared to their matchup?
So who is the most dominant in their sport? Who dominated their sport more?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going Serena
by about 50.
A billion.
Serena by
Serena's going to be a tough out.
She is.
She is. Tough out.
I feel like individual players are going to probably be pretty tough to
beat. Tough. I didn't think about that.
I can't even name 4 skateboarders. I'm sorry.
Bob Burnquist.
Yeah, that was the one I was trying to think of, and I couldn't even think of that one. Okay, John Jones and Mia Hamm.
Ooh!
This is actually a really good matchup. However, I think it is John Jones, but Mia Hamm, tough.
Cold. Solid. Yeah, I got the John Jones.
I might go Mia.
Really?
John Jones, but he
doing cocaine.
Been making me mad. He don't like fighting no more.
But he doesn't.
He can't stop. You know, he got that issue with this. Yeah. But when John Jones was fighting,
it was unbeatable.
It was insane. And the guy has fought more championship fights than like regular fights at this point in his career.
He also been taken down once
in his career, and he got back up like that. Also, he
I've
lost.
only
He lost the
seen
fight that he didn't even lose.
the only time I've ever really seen John Jones in trouble was when he fought the Swedish guy. Fuck.
Gustafson.
Yeah, Alexander Gustafsson. And he's fought him twice now, I think.
Yeah, he
And he's
did. He
won
beat the.
twice.
Pretty sure he
That's
beat the shit out of him
That's
first
the
time.
only time that he's ever, in my mind, been in trouble. Mia Hamm, on the other hand, I watched her bob and weave through an entire defense once.
A lot.
Right. So it's hard to quantify. I think this is like a time where it's hard to do individual versus team sport. Those USA teams were like leaps and bounds so much better than everybody else. And like nowadays with women's soccer, our women's national team still very, very much the best team in the world, but the gap is much closer now.
If you want to add importance to the sport, then I think Mia Hamm might have the upper hand.
I think fighters come and go.
Yeah, and John Jones hasn't. But yeah, think about it. Fighting is at probably at his highest popularity, maybe, and then John Jones hadn't fought in 4 years or something.
Yeah, and same with like to that point, same with like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor was like bigger than life, and then he's had a couple bad losses.
Ronda Rousey
very good anymore. Same with Ronda Rousey, and UFC continues to climb. So I think in the UFC, the sport is much bigger than the actual individual. So to that point, I kind of like Mia Hamm.
I also
never lost.
If you talk about importance to the sport and obviously contributions on the playing surface, then Mia Hamm would, I think, have the advantage.
And a lot of the girls in the U.S. women's national team, they reference Mia Hamm as like why they play.
Yeah, I mean, for that reason, I take Mia Hamm. Strictly dominance in the sport. Give me John Jones.
You gotta pick one. So,
what's the criteria? Does importance to
dominant
the sport matter?
Like
dominance in the sport?
Dominance in the sport.
Does importance to the sport matter?
I don't think so.
No, then John Jones.
Yeah,
with that being said, Michael Jordan is coming up, so remember that. Remember that.
I think just overall dominant in the sport. If that's what it is, then it's John Jones.
That's fair.
Mia Hamm's a bad bitch, though.
You almost had me with Mia Hamm, though.
Shit.
Okay, Usain Bolt and Muhammad Ali. Unfortunately, I think this is a no-brainer. And
really?
I don't know. Okay, let me take that back. It's not a no-brainer, but I think it's Usain Bolt. Like dominant in their if the criteria is dominant in their sport, no one is touching.
Usain Bolt had the whole world
in a stranglehold,
ready to watch him run for
like 12 years.
Yeah, people will stop what they're doing or like plan their whole day around for 12 seconds.
Yeah,
like that's nuts. That's insane.
I remember Twitter like, when did Usain Bolt run? That's all everybody was wondering.
Nobody gave a damn about when the Americans ran, right?
Yeah, whether
we're in America.
Whether it be just him running the 100. My sister ran track in school, so I should know more of that.
He has the world record in the 100. By the way, I looked at that time.
And even like the relays. It was basically like Jamaica in general had the world in a strangle. Because basically, if you had Jamaica on your chest, you were fast as hell. And everyone else like whatever. It was like just attribute boosts by like putting Jamaica on your chest.
Plus 5 speed. Yep.
Yeah, like plus 100 speed or whatever. So like.
I think
Ali very dominant in boxing, obviously, and like he had some losses or whatever. I don't know that Usain Bolt is really lost, but I would say Muhammad Ali was arguably more polarizing, but for stuff that was not boxing.
I agree.
So I'll go Bolt.
I'm with you.
Yep.
If you have the world at a stranglehold for 12 seconds of their day, I think that's nuts. You have to plan your whole day around. Like people are getting chips and salsa like planning
for a
to,
12-second race.
a party
Bro,
for a 12-second
bro.
race. It's nuts.
People would watch his the heats leading up to the final. So he go out there and jog for 15 meters or whatever, and people would be like, "Oh, Usain Bolt, man, he looks great." And then obviously he broke the world record at 9.5 seconds. So people planned their entire day around watching a 9.5 second race.
Right. Which is nuts.
And obviously, you're sitting in front of the TV 30 minutes before the race, watching all these other races that no one gives a shit about. The 4x1 meter heat number one, like whatever.
Yeah.
Trying to watch Usain Bolt run the 100-meter final.
Okay, so next one is Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne Gretzky.
Jeez.
I think that because there's multiple soccer players on this bracket, I think almost by default, this is Wayne Gretzky. Also, Wayne Gretzky there's no real debate on who the best hockey player of all time is, and his nickname is the Great One.
The Great One.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think it's easy. I think it's Gretzky.
Yeah. Okay, going back. Should we save this and just go to the other side first?
Sure.
Okay. So next would be Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps.
See, Michael Phelps had the same
Usain Bolt, yeah.
It's the same thing.
And Michael Jordan used to get first rounded.
Michael Jordan, and then he woke up though.
He did wake up.
He also got Scottie Pippen. I think that has see the waking up thing is true, but like
that's what I was saying was that if we talk about importance to the sport, and Michael Phelps was very important to swimming, especially United States swimming, because everybody wanted to watch Michael Phelps swim.
It gave the common fan or like the common person reason to watch the sport.
Like when Michael Phelps said he wasn't coming back to the Olympics, I was hurt. I was like, damn. Like, what the fuck am I going? I gotta watch Ryan Lochte be dumb on TV.
Lie about getting robbed.
But like importance to the sport, Michael Jordan made Olympic basketball in the United States popular. Made it he was part of that revolution, and then of course just growing his national or his worldwide brand and basketball as a whole, So when you talk about importance, I think Michael Jordan is, he's probably clear. Now, just dominance in the sport, Michael Phelps wasn't gonna lose, right?
That's true.
Everybody's watching him go swim, laps and laps in the pool, ready.
Michael Phelps has lost.
He has lost.
When he got when he got up there on that at the beginning of the whole thing, when he's getting ready to swim, you don't think Michael Phelps is gonna lose,
but he's lost.
But he's won, like a lot.
I'm going with Michael Jordan.
Bo doing the
slide.
That's how you get ready. That's how you get ready, bro. When you saw him like stand on the little platform,
that was cold though. That was cold.
About to beat them arms, boy. I can't swim, so I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I'm saying that like it got us three to watch swimming, which I think is nuts.
I did watch swimming.
No. But I think it's MJ. Okay, here's why I say MJ, right? In terms of basketball, the level of competition that Michael Jordan had to play against, I would say like difficulty wise would be it's harder for him to be more dominant than Michael Phelps would be in his sport. Also, when Michael Phelps was swimming competitively in the Olympics, I would argue that kind of like Mia Hamm, swimmers weren't as good as they are now. And like if you look at like the USA relay teams, they lose a lot now. Before, like in the past Olympics, the USA swimming team did not lose, like period. And now they lose, Ryan Lochte loses. The women swimmers dominate. I can't remember what the girl's name is. That's like basically the girl.
The girl in college, I forgot her name. She was in high school when she was killing everybody.
Yeah. So I think that in terms of like competition, like Michael, it was much more impressive to me for Michael to be dominant in his sport.
I got Phelps.
I'm going Michael.
They're both Michael.
All right, cool.
They're both Michael.
Michael Jordan. All right, Barry Bonds and Tom Brady. This is I hate
tough.
this matchup. I know it probably would have had to happen at some point, but I hate this.
I mean, I don't know how you can't say Tom. Like, he's been winning Super Bowls for 20 years. I feel like that's the definition of dominance. But at the same time, Barry was a Hall of Famer, like 6 years in.
I'm going to say Barry Bonds, and this is why.
You're a hater, though.
No. I love Tom Brady. I just hate the Patriots. There's a difference. I very much respect Tom Brady. They walked Barry Bonds with the bases loaded so he wouldn't get a chance to hit in a tie game. Like he was like the Giants, I can't remember who they were playing, but they were tied. And the bases were loaded.
Top of the ninth.
And they walked a run in on purpose to go behind instead of allowing Barry Bonds to hit. And the amount of times that he's been intentionally walked is nuts. So like the absolute fear of this man is like.
But I agree. In my opinion, Barry's the best baseball player of all time.
That is not true.
In my opinion.
In my opinion.
I'm telling you, give me Barry over all of them.
Okay.
But the thing is that we said we're going by dominance. Tom Brady has been dominating for 20 years.
That's true. I think it's hard to quantify dominant. I guess I can't really say that because like in football, you need your defense. You depend on more people in football than baseball. So I think that the point I was going to make is not valid. I don't know.
I'm going Tom. You're going Barry Ayers. The tiebreaker.
I'll probably go Tom.
That's fine too. I don't hate it. I hate that these two are matched up.
It's fucking Tom Brady. I hate that guy. But he said just dominance in the sport, man. It's just we're here 45 years old. He's still out here.
I'll say if he didn't win that Super Bowl 2 years ago, I'd be going Barry.
Okay.
But
fucking Tom.
And Barry didn't really win much in the major leagues. So I think individual like him versus a pitcher, nuts. Okay, Roger Federer and LeBron James. This is also tough.
This one's also tough.
This is not very cut and dry. I would argue Roger Federer.
I think Roger Federer. I think he was.
I would argue
one.
Roger Federer. I don't think it's cut and dry.
I think I read a stat recently that Roger Federer was number one in the rankings for like 260 weeks or something like that.
That's over 5 years.
And the next closest was 160. Like the next closest record-wise. That's insane. But LeBron 6 straight championships. He was number one for years too. This is tough.
Wait, 6 straight championships? What do you mean by that?
6 straight. Like he's been to 6 straight NBA finals.
Oh, he went to the finals like 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
like something, or he went to the finals for a decade straight, basically, or something,
Mhm.
which is nuts on a team. And like some of those teams were very bad. They're not great. Like the graphic that they showed against the Warriors finals, the first finals that I think KD won, or no, maybe it was the first one that Steph won. That had Matthew Dellavedova and J.R. Smith in the graphic, like the 3-person graphic against Steph, Clay, and Draymond is insanity. Like
That's when
that's like
Kyrie and Draymond
that
got
is
hurt.
an actual graphic. In the finals.
I think I'm taking Roger, but it's close. This right side's kind of tough.
I think I'm also taking Roger.
I'm on the fence, so I'll let Ayers make a case for me.
I do want to hear what Ayers has to say because I could be swayed. I could definitely be swayed. Because I was almost swayed for Mia Hamm, to be honest. I was right there.
I just don't. The accomplishments alone obviously speak for themselves, right? Like it's just when you talk about basketball over the last 20 years, that conversation starts with LeBron James, you know. And when you talk about it 20 years from now, I think that conversation is going to start with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. For what was it, 9 straight years or whatever? It was no matter what team he was on, he was leading them to the finals. It didn't matter who played, it didn't matter who it was. That conference, people didn't want to go play in that conference because they knew they'd have to go through LeBron James. And it's just when you talk about dominating the sport, even at age 37, the expectations that we have of LeBron James are unlike, or not gonna say unlike any other, but that conversation starts with LeBron. What's LeBron gonna do? LeBron had a down year at 27, 8, and 8. That's a down year for LeBron James. That's a down year, right? Everybody's like, oh, he's lost a step, and he gave you 27, 8, and 8. They said he wasn't good this year, or he didn't have a great year because the Lakers were horrible. He gave you 30 a night at 37. So if we talk about dominating the sport, regardless of what the team does, you know what you're getting out of number 6 every time he steps out there. 30. Regardless of who's out there. And this Lakers team was ass. They weren't good. They weren't good. But you expect them to be good because they have LeBron James. That team doesn't have LeBron James. You don't expect them to be good.
I think you make a good argument. I think that if we're talking about like the GOAT athlete, like there's a discussion between Michael Jordan and LeBron. With Roger Federer, it's kind of like, think of tennis, it's like Roger Federer. Like there's just no second. Like that's really that close. Like his second, you could do Rafael Nadal, Joker. You know, even going back farther, like Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, like, but it's like Roger Federer, and then like everybody else. But like basketball, it's like LeBron, it's MJ. People want to talk about Kobe, which I don't think is there. It's not. No disrespect to Kobe, but it's really LeBron and MJ. But with tennis, it's Roger Federer and nothing. So that's why I'm going Roger.
I think when you think larger than life basketball, people start with Michael Jordan. For LeBron James to be in that conversation for so many people, I think is saying enough. So if you say Michael Jordan is arguably your GOAT athlete, that conversation also has LeBron James in it. So for your number one, if he's your number one athlete or whatever, hypothetically, he's your number one GOAT athlete, for that to even be another conversation is, that says a lot about LeBron James. He didn't play tennis, so, but you talk about GOAT basketball athletes, you talk about Michael Jordan, you talk about LeBron James, and then everybody else. So I think for him to even be in the conversation is enough for me to give him the nod.
But this is like most dominant in their sport.
Yeah, and who's been the most dominant basketball player over the last 20 years? LeBron James. Tom Brady's been the most dominant football player for the last 20 years.
Roger Federer has been the most dominant tennis player ever in his sport. Like ever.
I think I agree with Eris because it's kind of like with Tom Brady, based on longevity. I think I'm going with LeBron because right now Federer is not the most dominant,
That's true.
right? And he hasn't been for the last maybe 3 or 4 years, probably longer than that. Braun's still here.
That's a good point.
And I think Braun and Federer started around the same time too. I'm not a real big tennis guy, but
Same. I don't know who is that looks like us. But I'm good with LeBron too. I like
LeBron.
Okay, Messi and Tiger Woods.
One plays a sport, the other one doesn't. Keep that in mind.
Say that again.
One plays a sport, the other one doesn't. Keep that in mind.
I'm going Tiger Woods.
I mean,
for reasons of like Usain Bolt, basically. Like, you'll have the casual person that doesn't really even care about golf, like spending their Sunday seeing, like, during when Tiger was like, dominating the world. Like, you would plan your weekend around being there Sunday to see Tiger go off.
See, I think Tiger definitely did more for the sport, for his sport, than Messi. But, I mean, in my opinion, Messi's the best soccer player of all time. And it's kind of like the longevity thing, man. He's still doing it. So
That's true. I mean, Tiger got hurt. Like, who knows? Do you think that Tiger would have passed Jack Nicklaus?
I do.
For like majors all time if he did not get hurt.
Not hurt. I think the whole scandal thing really messed him up too. But
true.
If those two things don't happen,
it
is. I think he passes him, and then I think he wins. I'll probably pick him.
But because of he did not, that's why you're picking Messi.
Yes.
I'm fine with that too. I think my vote is still Tiger, but I don't disagree with anything that you said. All these are toss-ups for me. Like,
yeah,
you can flip a coin, and I'm good with either one, honestly.
Shit, I don't know, man. Like,
hold on. One thing on Messi though, I have seen Messi shrink when playing for his national team. In times of like when they really needed him.
I don't know if you've seen him shrink. I think that his teammates didn't help him. It's like saying that's like saying you saw LeBron shrink in the NBA Finals.
Exactly.
Well, you did.
I've never seen like Tiger. I've never seen Tiger like blow. I've never seen Tiger like blow a lead or something like that, or like when like it's crunch time, like Tiger just not losing those. You know what I mean? Or like if it's like a playoff, like they finish the same at the end of 18 on Sunday and they go to a playoff, Tiger not losing that. You're just not.
I've only seen it once with Messi, and that was when he missed that penalty.
Yes.
In the Copa America, but
motherfucker still sailing, boy. I'm still in the orbit somewhere.
It's on you, Eric. Tiebreaker.
Man, I don't know, man. It's a toss up for me too. I like them both. Obviously, I think when I watch Tiger, right, and I think this is the I like Tiger, and I would. I don't know. The reason I say I'm probably gonna say Messi is literally just because of the amount of people that are on the field. Right, Tiger is an individual, and he's dominating the sport. Right, obviously we've seen him have some down years, and it happens. Right, he's just been unhealthy, and then he had the scandal and all the stuff that happened to him. Um, but golf is and golf is so much more fun when Tiger is good. I think when Tiger is on top of the world, when Tiger is playing really really good golf, golf is so much more fun. But literally, the only reason I'm saying Messi is because I've seen numerous pictures. Even though it's a 11v11 game, there's 7 people of the 11 to crowding and closing down this
That's
dude,
true.
and then the 8th person is the goalie,
Sure.
and then the other 3 are walking back from being offside. So, in an 11v11 sport, to have all the attention and eyes and everybody's steps, closing in on you on a team like Barcelona, where everybody's world class, I think speaks a lot to how good he is and how I would say that's why I would choose Messi. I think.
Yeah, see,
Okay,
I agree
so
with
do
theirs.
you,
I
I
think it's kind of like you're on the Warriors. You have Curry, KD, and you're still gonna double KD and leave Steph Curry wide open. That's kind of like what they do with Messi.
And
Like,
that's
I get what you're
15
saying.
years, right?
Okay, so my rebuttal to that, I'm good with Messi, by the way. I'm good with Messi. I think Messi's the best soccer player of all time, too. So I'm good with Messi. My last thought is that you brought up it's 11v11. And like if Messi has an off night, you can still win because of like who he's played with. If Tiger has an off night, he's missing the cut. And it's like I get that you're having like 8-on-1 or whatever, like that scenario, like when you pack the box or whatever. And like, but Tiger's going against the field, right? He's got to beat everybody to win. And he did that.
taking Tiger to the field, take Tiger.
Exactly.
Hey,
Like
Tiger the Pig, take Tiger.
people in Vegas are taking Tiger over 100 golfers. Like that's like world-class golfers. Like that is insanity to me to like think about. Again, I'm good with Messi, but I'm saying like to your point, Tiger can't have off nights or whatever. Like if like for the Steph KD thing, if you double KD and you have Steph, like KD has Steph, Tiger has nobody. So like that's another reason why I choose Tiger. But I'm very fine with Messi. I think Messi's the best soccer player of all time. Okay. Moving back to the left side, Serena versus John Jones. I think
Good luck. Good luck.
Serena's a tough out.
I think it's Serena.
Good luck.
Even like going through all these, like Serena is like
The fact that she won while being pregnant,
being pregnant,
and then people still said that she has an advantage. That should tell you that, like, she's pregnant, like what, 7 months pregnant or something like that.
Right. Look,
and people are still complaining about that she needs to be nerfed.
Look, right. Okay, that's the same. Okay, one more thing on Tiger. They changed golf courses and rebuilt golf courses for Tiger. They lengthened golf courses that were around for decades for Tiger. Again, I'm good with Messi.
It sounds like you're not.
I'm very fine with Messi. This is not like Lion King. Y'all trying to get Lion King out in the first place. It's not like that. I'm saying that like you're bringing up points that are applicable to Tiger. But anyway, to your point about Serena being pregnant and still winning, look, I ate a shit ton of Popeyes today, and I don't think I could do anything. She's growing a human, and winning, and they're complaining that she needs to be nerfed. That is nuts. Okay, I can't even eat 5 chicken tenders from Popeyes with ranch and a couple of biscuits and go out and play softball, let alone play against
Win a
worldwide.
major tennis tournament.
Or win the U.S. Open.
Exactly. I couldn't even think about moving laterally left and right with a tennis racket in my hand after eating what I had for lunch today. So this is not a discussion for me.
No,
John Jones, obviously great.
Yeah.
You know, might be pound for pound best UFC fighter of all time, but it's
tough.
Usain Bolt and Wayne Gretzky.
Well, as great as Wayne Gretzky was, I sat around for 2 hours waiting on a 9-second race.
Yeah.
So
I'm good with it. Did you have a vote for Gretzky?
No.
Okay. Okay. Going back to the right side, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. This is some people's go athlete, right? Like final.
Yeah, this is the go athlete for a lot of people.
If you ask the city of Boston, as soon as they saw Tom Brady on this
Just
bracket,
it down,
it's Tom
right?
Brady anyway. Like, what are we chatting about? Okay. What do you guys think? Not all at once.
I think I'm going Tom. I mean, they both got 6, right? Or Tom have 7. And I feel like Tom's been doing it longer, 20 years, man. He came in hot. He didn't come in getting first rounded for 8 years.
Man.
I'm going Tom, and honestly, it's not even close.
Ooh. Not even close?
Not even close. The fact that Tom Brady has withstood. Think about how the NFL was in 2002 and how it is now. And Tom Brady is still dominating. He's still the top quarterback in Madden.
That's true. Which is like debatable to me, but yeah.
But still, he's all the changes around the NFL, the rules.
Mm-hmm. The rules kind of help Tom longevity.
True, but still, you have to adjust to that. The way you play the game, the play calls, still Tom Brady.
What do you think, Bo?
I think I'm leaning towards Michael. Reasons why is that I think the rule changes in the NFL helped Tom Brady in terms of longevity and it turned the sport of football more offensive than defensive, and I think that really helped Tom Brady. I think that if you take out like the whole tuck rule situation, if he loses that game, that's one less Super Bowl. And if he didn't, let's see. Adam Vinatieri also won him some Super Bowls, but at that point, Steve Kerr won, Michael Jordan final. Same with John Paxson. So like
Ray Allen won, LeBron won. Let's not do that.
Yeah. So like so that's not. I'll throw that point out. But I do think like in terms of football, like how football has changed, I think that only helps Tom Brady in terms of longevity and offensive performance. I think that elevated Tom Brady with those rule changes from the quarterback position and the overall game turning into more of an offensive game. Michael Jordan, his path to his finals, I think, was tougher than Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady dominated football, but if you look at his division that he had to play in every single year, you're basically guaranteed the playoffs every single year because of how horrid the AFC East is during his time. Like you're basically playing against 3 dysfunctional franchises two times a year, every single year. like you should win the division every single year. So in terms of that, I don't give Tom Brady a ton of credit. Like obviously he's the GOAT in terms of football, but to that point, I don't give him credit for. I do think that Tom Brady, his Super Bowl wins were against better competition, or it was against better teams than NBA or Michael Jordan's NBA Finals wins. He was favored in every single one of those games. Like he should have won all of those games. Tom Brady was an underdog, I think, in 2 of his Super Bowls that he won. And also coming back from 28-3 is nuts. I don't care if the Falcons blew that shit or not. Like that's nuts. Like in the second half, like that I don't care. Like that's the Super Bowl and you come back from 28-3. That's nuts. Michael Jordan never had anything like that. So I think I'm talking myself into Tom Brady actually. So after saying all that, I actually don't know. I don't know anymore. But I love MJ. I don't know. Eris, what do you think? I need a second.
So originally, I was leaning Tom Brady.
Okay.
And then it just man, I think obviously he's great, and like Adam said, a lot of the rules have changed, and adjusting to the rules is definitely something that you have to do as a quarterback in the NFL. And through the test of time, we've seen quarterbacks come and go, and the Cleveland Browns still haven't found one in all these years. They finally found one, then they traded him. Now they got one who might not even play for 10 games this year. But throughout the test of time, there's been Tom Brady, right? And what he's doing at 45 or what he did at 44, I guess, was insane, right? You're supposed to be well into your retirement at that age, and from the NFL. So I think that is obviously a GOAT in itself. But I do agree with Bo as far as a lot of the rules being changed to help him out and help his longevity. Couple that with it still being a team sport, and the Patriots, because of Tom Brady, obviously, but even still, they always had the best team, I feel like.
Did y'all see Bo? There's on TikTok. Bo, have you seen the TikToks when Asante Samuel he's on Brandon Marshall and Fred Taylor's podcast?
I Am Athlete podcast.
Yeah, Asante Samuel was on there, and he gave all the credit to Brady. He said Bill Belichick didn't do anything. He said that was all Tom.
I mean,
it's all Tom Brady.
I wouldn't be shocked.
He has a Sean McCoy, the same thing. Sean McCoy from Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. All Tom Brady.
I'm fine with Tom. I think that I think you were the one that made the point that said Tom Brady, like off rip, was just winning off rip, and he's like still dominating. I mean, MJ had about 4 or 5 years where he was getting first rounded before Scottie Pippen.
Here's my thing with Tom. In today's NFL, quarterbacks, like look at that list. We brought that list. All those quarterbacks, they have a little bit or a lot of mobility, except for one. The one who's at the top, who's been at the top. Like he's still dominating, and the game is completely different than what it was, and he's still at the top.
I'm good with Tom. I'm good with Tom. Okay, LeBron and Messi to round out our final four.
I'm gonna go last.
I'm probably going with Bron. And that's just for exclude the beginning of his career, and
you can't do that though.
Well, listen, hold on, but exclude the beginning of his career and right before he got to the Lakers. Just throw that out. That is itself 10 years of dominance, right? That is 9 years of dominance. That's 9 finals appearances in 9 years, right? And getting there, he's had the best team, I feel like, in the East, but then he gets to the finals, and in probably more than half of those 9 appearances, he hasn't had the best team.
Sure.
So with just that right there, I think that is a sign of being dominant. Now, you add the beginning and what he's done with the Lakers, even though the Lakers haven't been good. I think once you add on to that, I think that adds to the greatness of LeBron James. Now with Messi, don't get me wrong, very, very good, very great. And on a team like Barcelona, to have all the eyes on you, I think that's insane. But those guys are more than capable of being stars, I think, on their own teams. I think Messi obviously made them better, right? He elevated a lot of those players' games, but on any other club in the world, they could still be considered stars in their own right. So as good as Messi was, you could also say that a lot of his dominance comes from having great teammates. So that's why I would say Bron.
Okay. You said you wanted to go last?
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I can go right now. It doesn't matter.
I'll go second because I think like you're gonna have the most input for this. I'm going Messi. Reasons why is that, again, when you're talking about the GOAT of your sport, when we say men's soccer, to most it's Messi. For basketball, it's LeBron or MJ, like 1 and 1A. Like for soccer, for me, I think Messi is the best soccer player of all time, and there is some distance between second. And that's kind of where I lie.
So
if you take out, I think who the player is that you take out their worst year and you take out their best year, that's who they are. So if you take their best moments and worst moments, that's who they are. So if you take out Messi's best moments and his worst moment, it's a lot of the best ever. If you take out LeBron's worst moment and best moment, it's also like very much like the most dominant. But in my mind, when you talk about your respective sport, soccer or football, soccer it's Messi, and for basketball it's kind of a discussion.
See,
So,
go ahead.
so you don't think? I just want to know. You don't think like Ronaldo has a part of the GOAT discussion?
Because it's not as close to me as LeBron and MJ.
I mean, I don't.
Sure, there's some say. Sure, there are things that Ronaldo does on a soccer pitch that is better than Messi. Yes, but I don't think the overall GOAT conversation is as close as LeBron and MJ. Like LeBron and MJ is like 55-45. Like MJ over LeBron, if you poll the world. But I think Messi and Ronaldo it's not as close. In my opinion. I could be off base.
So At the start, I was gonna agree with Ayers. If you look at Messi's teammates, right, he's had Ronaldinho,
Mhm.
Samuel Eto'o was once the best striker in the world. Thierry Henry, you can name them all. Neymar, who
Samuel
cares, right?
Eto'o in FIFA 09 and 10 was
Cold, Chelsea
like
legend,
cold.
Chelsea legend,
Chelsea
yeah.
legend,
My
Samuel
God.
Eto'o.
I think it was on Inter Milan. It was,
In the 08-09, he was on Barcelona. I think he scored like 35 goals or something.
so
But
then was it 2009, 2010? Anyway,
probably
doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But and LeBron is pretty much been him. But like you said, when I think of the best player in soccer, I think of Messi. In my opinion, I think Bron is better than Michael Jordan. I think LeBron's the best, but like you said, bro, I do think it's very close. So for that reason, I think I'm gonna go with Messi. I want to come back. I don't know.
I'll say this, and I think for us being the age that we are, I think obviously we're gonna say, and I think Messi is great, but for some people, I mean, obviously not people that we know because we're younger, so we only know Messi. We don't we never saw like and granted, sports have changed and all that, all that stuff, but like Maradona, people would say that he would be the best Argentinian of all time. They not even like Messi might not even be the best Argentinian of all time for some people. Let alone soccer player, right? With your Pele's and your older players. Now, I think Messi is better just simply on the fact that the game has revolutionized a lot, right? And for some reason, in a lot of the media, basketball is the only sport where the players haven't gotten better, right? They've only gotten worse, and you couldn't drop LeBron in the 80s. For some reason, that's the only basketball is the only sport where that's the case. But so obviously I think Messi's a better player. But like for some people, when you talk about the greatest of all time, he might not even be the greatest Argentinian of all time.
Do you
Now,
think do you think that to that point, do you think first of all, LeBron is windmilling, reverse dunking all over Bill Laimbeer? I don't give a shit. Same with like Bill Russ. I don't care. He's
Bill Laimbeer
doing
would try to punch Bron and break his fucking fist.
whatever. He's doing whatever the hell he wants to whoever he wants in the 80s. I do not care. But to your point about Messi being the best Argentinian in the world, do you think that is more so how they view them as like a person? I think people just like because Messi is not as like personality wise as outspoken, kind of more to himself, a little like Kawhi personality, like kind of more on the quiet side. Do you think that plays a factor in terms of like best Argentinian of all time? Do you think it's more so about the person or the actual players?
I just feel like it's more so like I think for a lot of other people they talk about kind of importance when it talks about the GOAT. They talk about the overall importance and impact on the game. And I mean, Maradona being one of one at the time, right? Now he's one of two. But with him being one of one at the time is like, they'll say that he's, the greatest because of how important, he made Argentina and during his time. And then, of course, Messi followed that up with just kind of, taking it to the next level kind of deal. So I think maybe that's it. I don't know.
Who do you think was more dominant, Maradona or Messi at soccer?
Hell, when I watch, I would say probably Messi. But when you talk about dominance, why not like Ronaldinho? You watch him play, and it's just like he could do whatever the fuck he whenever the fuck he wanted, and it didn't matter. It just Now I don't think he didn't have the longevity that Messi had. I don't think.
Which has been an argument for a lot of these athletes in here.
But like Ronaldinho was making it look like a fucking game with professional athletes. Like it was joy. It was flair. It was skill. It was just like when you look at it from Ronaldinho's perspective, it's just shit that you're not supposed to do with professional athletes running around on the field.
Okay, so I relate Ronaldinho to Barry Sanders. Is that a fair comparison in terms of like style, flair? Like they were so dominant for like a short period of time. Like if they would have played longer, like Messi, then we would have more of a conversation. But anyway, we're getting farther away from the point. I think,
that's just why I say when it comes to dominance, that's like. When I think of dominant soccer players, I like the conversation. Like Messi's in that conversation, but there are other players who have a say.
Who is
right?
the GOAT soccer player in your opinion?
The GOAT soccer player, in my opinion,
yes,
probably the GOAT. I mean, probably Messi. But I listen to arguments for Ronaldo. I listen to arguments for Ronaldinho.
Do you think
personally?
Do you think between Messi and Ronaldo, do you think that is a closer competition than MJ and LeBron?
Yeah, I do.
I do not personally, but
I mean that's just I think it's.
I think that's subjective. That's like people's opinion.
I mean,
I don't think that is close. Like LeBron and MJ are so close. Like people will like, it's just like friendships will be broken by like this conversation. Like Messi and Ronaldo, it's like it's never been like a heated discussion or like brought up as much as LeBron and MJ.
So let me ask y'all this. This is how I'm gonna decide it. Since 2010 in the NBA, how many years was LeBron the best player in the league?
7. Since 2010?
It's 2010. 12 years. Because I think in 2010, that's the first year he really was the best player in the league, in my opinion.
Okay.
Before that, it was Kobe. And Tim Duncan.
Okay. I think it was like Duncan and Kobe. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say like 8 of those years.
It is the one with Steph Curry, maybe KD.
Steph, I would say KD, Giannis.
I'm talking about just for that season. Like that season, was he the best player in the league that season? That's what I mean.
Yes. So I'm saying that I think I would say clear cut, I would say probably 8 of those. Like for me, LeBron should be given an MVP award every year he can touch a basketball. He can dribble a basketball. That's how I feel. That's how I felt about MJ until he can't dribble a basketball anymore. That's your MVP. That's how I feel about LeBron. But overall, like best player, I would say probably between 2010 and right now, I would say within the last 4 years, he's probably not. I would say Kevin Durant, and then when Kawhi won the finals, I would argue Kawhi, but I even then I still don't think so. I would say probably the only people that would really unseat him would be Giannis and Kevin Durant. Even like you mentioned Steph Curry, there's never been a season where I maybe except for maybe this past season that I would take Steph Curry over LeBron.
So for that reason, I think since I would say it's maybe been 2 years. Ronaldo twice. That Messi wasn't the best player in the world.
Is he the best player in the world last year? Mbappe?
Mbappe did just win Player of the Year, or like best soccer player in the world.
I guess I wouldn't count yeah. You sure you're going to give it to Mbappe last year? That's fine. Year before that, I think it was Messi. I think Ronaldo had it. I give it to Ronaldo twice, and that's really it. So maybe 3 years. I think I'm going Messi. This might be the hardest one.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a tough one. Okay. Hold on, I want to take a snippet of.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because I don't really know where to go from here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't really, I don't really know where to.
Should we make a poll? Let Instagram decide.
No.
No.
By the way, you guys
Wasn't want Tom Brady to win.
no, because I've too many Boston followers. Sorry, I wanted to do a snippet because I'm gonna post the Final Four and get a poll, but I want us to finish.
Okay.
Okay, so Serena and Usain Bolt.
I'm going with Serena, and unfortunately, I don't think it's close.
I'm also going with Serena.
I don't know if it's. I don't even know if it's all that close.
You're going Serena as well? Yeah. Okay.
There's a period of time where it was like she's just definitely not gonna fucking lose.
Right. And this isn't really Usain Bolt's fault, but if you're Jamaican, you're supposed there's a factor of like you're supposed to win. Like there's a little bit of like again, if you wore there is some Olympics where if you wore Jamaica across your chest, you were just not there's just no way people could drive a go-kart and they were not they could ride on a fucking horseback and they were not gonna lose. Like it's just I think there's a little bit of that. Like Serena, if you think of the grand scheme of things, we're not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? So I think that factors in for me in terms of like being a GOAT, like in year 4.
The fact that she was pregnant and people were complaining is
it's nuts. I think that's like
insane.
I don't know how she loses. We're gonna finish this, but I just don't know. It's gonna be very hard for me to convince me that Serena is just not the GOAT athlete. But anyway, moving on. Tom Brady and Messi.
I'm gonna go Brady.
I think I'm going Brady too.
I'm also going Brady.
That fuck, man.
That the longevity, bro.
Just hate that.
It's hard. It's hard.
Now, if we're doing Serena and Tom Brady in the final, hold on, I want to get a snippet before I continue. Okay.
I mean, it's like y'all said. I think it's tough to beat Serena. To me, for Serena, she has a dominance of Tiger Woods and the longevity of like a Brady or LeBron.
Brady. That's
right. Like Tiger Woods complaining about his back. He has a messed up back. Serena Williams was pregnant. I know her back hurt.
Right.
And she was cooking the field.
Cooking a baby in the field is nuts.
That's insane.
I think I'm going to get a lot of heat on the internet for this, but I'm going Serena.
I'm going Serena too.
When I say heat, I mean from like Boston faithful. I'm going to get a lot of heat. But I think it's Serena is just the GOAT athlete, period, and I don't think it's close. I know we're gonna release this, and I know people like couch athletes are gonna be like, I'm already gonna get ahead of it. They're gonna say that in terms of like men versus women competition, like there's always a bigger discrepancy of like dominant women athletes versus like the rest of the field. Doesn't matter in my opinion. It's like I see it all over Twitter all the time. Like guys will try and discredit Serena Williams, like her being dominant and stuff like that. I'm like, that
doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make any sense. Like at all. But I think it's Serena. Serena's just a go athlete. It's not close.
I'm choosing Serena because obviously the pregnant thing. Like, that is fucking insane. That she won that pregnant and people complained. That's insanity.
That's nuts. Like
Like,
I can't get over that. Like I can't.
that's
I
crazy.
can't get over that.
But if Serena Williams came back today and played, I would still expect her to
win,
make the final at the least. And I don't think she's won anything since 2019, maybe 2017. I don't know. I think it's been a while since she's won. But even now, knowing what I know about Serena, come on back and go whoop some ass.
And she just lost. Like she just
Yeah.
lost recently. I think with it a couple weeks ago, which like. All right, but like Tom Brady has also had stumbles within like the last few years. Like his last throw as a Patriot was a pick six. He lost to Ryan Tannehill. Like
Lord have mercy, he lost to that dude.
So if someone's gonna be like, well, what about Tom or whatever? Like you lost, like you basically made an argument for Eli Manning to have a Hall of Fame career because he beat you twice. You lost him twice. So it's like,
Yeah.
Just wondering, do y'all know Serena Williams' all-time singles record?
what is that?
It is 855 and 153, which is good enough for an 85% win percentage.
That's insane. I mean, that's dominance. 1,000 matches, you win 85% of them.
And it's like, how many of those were in straight sets too? Like she was like killing, like she was finishing matches before like an episode of Power ends. Like or like she was finishing people before an episode of Game of Thrones. Like this, like she's nuts. Like she's nuts. I don't care. Like it's not a debate for me. Like all the other stuff, like leading up to the final, I think the Messi LeBron one was tough. I think the MJ Tom Brady one was tough. I think the right side of the bracket was pretty tough in general. Like Barry Bonds, Tom Brady again was like another tough one. But I think it's not close, in my opinion.
I agree.
So, by the way, the Red Sox lost 28-5 in a professional baseball game.
No goats on that team.
Lord. Lord.
I've just never seen a professional baseball team give up 4 touchdowns like that. 28-5.
Give up 4 touchdowns.
Good Lord. I even thought about going to that game tonight because the tickets were so cheap because it's so fucking hot here. Like it's so hot. And I know you guys don't care because you live in Texas.
Hot.
One question about Texas, is it humid there? Like I don't remember
certain parts
in a while, but like I don't know how humid it gets in Texas.
I think most cities, the closer you get to the ocean, the more humid it is.
So I live off the ocean. So it is hot and like disgustingly humid outside.
Dallas isn't that bad, but Houston, 105 and humid.
Just
every day.
Gross.
When I was down there in December.
Yeah, it was like 80 though.
It was like 85.
It was like 85 in December.
It was 85, but I remember it being kind of humid, and I was kind of shocked by how humid it was.
It's 30 minutes from the beach.
Okay, so maybe that's why. But I know like Boston's super humid, and I think the most humid place I've ever been was Miami. I think I wanted to die. I thought I needed a literal like sword to cut through the fucking air there. It was stupid. It was the dumbest thing. Like I went outside and just existed and
it just existed.
It was nuts. And that's how I feel about it here. Also, I don't have like fans or anything in my office, but I do have a thermometer, and it's 86 in my office right now.
Why?
Because like I don't want like.
How are you not sweating?
I am. That's the thing.
Oh, shout out to Legends with the great fabric, bro. You know.
Hey man. You know what I'm saying? And shout out Reebok for the hat. You know what I'm saying? The hat. You know what I'm saying? Keeping it. You know, all the sweat is in here. It is very sweaty. This hat is. I've also limited my movement for the past 2 hours. So, and mixed in a lot of water. Drink this whole thing. So, but anyway, look at us. 2 shows in a week. That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know, football season, basketball season right around the corner. We got to get warmed up.
I think I think we made it. I think we made it through the roughest part of like sports podcasting of the year. We made it through
rough.
Where we only really had baseball, and you know,
we're in the home stretch. We still got about a month.
Yes, but at least now we can start doing way too early predictions. We can talk about college football. You know, we have a lot of things on the horizon. Also, very sad story. Sorry, somber ending, but like Spencer Webb passing away, that sucks.
Very tough.
That was shitty. That sucks because I saw videos about his story and things like that. Like he just had a bunch of just shit thrown in his face. So like for him to even be at Oregon or where he was, like he was gonna get drafted. And I remember he did a video of Destroying where they took him through like Oregon's facilities and all that stuff. And I was like, this kid's great. So it just sucks. But I am really excited for college football. Not really excited for either of my teams, but I'll give you guys a spotlight for Texas real quick. What do you guys think? Because we haven't talked about it. What do you think about the Arch Manning signing? Do you think he's going to be dominant? I've heard mixed reviews on Arch Manning. I haven't really seen much tape from him. I met him once, but I don't. When I met him, he didn't scream number one prospect to me. But
I mean, obviously he doesn't have much tape on him. He can throw the football. We'll see how he develops. I think that's the key thing.
The main thing is like the competition of who he plays, and like he doesn't play very good competition. When he does, he shrinks, or not shrinks, but he doesn't perform well. But I also heard that his team
is horrible.
It's horrible.
He does not go to a football school. He goes to a school where his friends go to.
Okay.
And not a school where, you know, most athletes, they don't go to their home school. They go to a school where they know they're gonna play with the best players.
But I don't know much about him in like the 7-on-7 circuit either.
I think me and Eric talked about this. Like he gains nothing from playing in the 7-on-7, the 11. Like,
you don't think he gains anything from the Elite 11?
He's already the number one prospect. What else does he have to gain?
True.
He had Nick Saban and Kirby Smart knocking at his door.
Do you think that the quarterback room in Texas is too crowded? Do you think him or Quinn are going to transfer?
At the end of the day, there's really only 2 of them.
I don't know who else is there.
Well, Malik. It's Quinn Ewers and Arch Manning.
Oh, Malik.
Malik is there.
I think he'll transfer. He's coming to Florida State.
He could. I like him a lot. I think he's really good too.
I like him. I think he might come to Florida State.
He's really good too.
Because he would start tomorrow. Anyway.
It'll be interesting. I think Quinn's gonna start this year. That much is, but next year,
I think he has to start.
I think Malik red shirts. Well, maybe I don't know. He probably red shirts because he probably red shirts. Arch probably gonna red shirt next year. But in 2 years, I mean, he's gonna be Malik versus Arch Manning for that spot. Whoever doesn't win it, probably don't transfer.
I think that Malik is gonna redshirt and then he's gonna transfer.
Well, I think
it could be. He could leave before.
Yeah, he could. I think. Yeah, I mean,
because there's gonna be so many spots in college football waiting for him.
Yeah, it depends on how much he likes it. I mean, I'm sure Sark is going to give him because he already told him you have every opportunity to win the job. Just got to go do it.
I think there's just going to be a lot of pressure of like carrying the Manning name for him not to play.
Yeah.
I think Malik Murphy is in like a very impossible spot to win.
He is, because if
Quinn Ewers,
unless Quinn Ewers sucks this year, then he might have a shot at playing next year.
I don't think he's gonna suck. I think he's
I
gonna
don't
suck.
either.
I think he's gonna light it up.
Yeah.
I don't either.
And I'm sneaky rooted. I'm sneaky for him, rooting for him to do well, which I guess makes me sneaky.
We can get you some merch.
I got plenty of Texas shirts, baby. You can be a horn.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll be back next week. You can re-listen to this Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Other than that, we'll be back Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or
Whenever Bo had time for us.
Whenever Bo's not being a.
I'm not doing any traveling for the foreseeable future, so I think
That means 2 weeks.
Back. The boys are back.
That means 4 days.
Shut up. Anyway, all right. We'll see you guys later.
Golf is not a sport.
Oh, let's get early results from that poll, and then we'll leave. Early results, very important poll. Is golf a sport? Getting
ranked.
Yes. A lot of yes.
Wrecked.
42 votes, and
That's disgusting.
But if not, then why? One guy said, I see both sides. However, I lean more towards no, strictly for the fact that there's no defense. And people can just withdraw if they're performing poorly. And then another guy goes, if there isn't any defense, it's not a sport. But, like, I feel like sand traps and rough and water is defense. And, like, pin placement is defense.
I don't know if I agree with that, because gymnastics is definitely a sport. There's no defense. I would say like snowboarding and skiing are sports too. No defense in those.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see how the poll ends up. But anyway, Serena on top. Serena by 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.